A page once forbidden was finally revealed by Ethiopian monks, despite having been ordered to destroy it, and in it the name of Jesus is mentioned directly. What story does this text hold? Why did it remain silent for so many centuries? What does it transform in the understanding of the Christian faith? To answer these questions, it is necessary to go back to the origins of Christianity in Ethiopia. The conversion of Ethiopia to Christianity was not a marginal event, but a conscious and profoundly transformative decision. In the 4th century, during the decades of 320 and 330, King Ezana of Aksum adopted Christianity as the official religion of the state, guided by the Syrian missionary Frumentius. This fact placed Aksum at the forefront of the Christian world long before Rome, which only officialized Christianity in the year 380, with the Edict of Thessalonica under Emperor Theodosius I. While Rome and Constantinople were still debating doctrine and legislation, an African kingdom had already integrated the Christian faith into its national identity. This reality challenges the traditional narrative centered on Rome. Ethiopia consolidated itself as a relevant Christian pole from very early on, as evidenced by the Garima Gospels, Ethiopian manuscripts written in gold ink in the Ge'ez language. Studies conducted by specialists from the University of Oxford date these texts between the 4th and 7th centuries, being some of the oldest illustrated Gospels in the world. They reveal an literate, artistic, and spiritually sophisticated Christian culture, long before the illuminated Bibles of medieval Europe. Ethiopian Christianity developed independently of the West. Although it dialogued with Syrian and Coptic traditions, it was not shaped by later European theological trends. Therefore, it preserved biblical texts lost in the West, offering a valuable window into the beliefs and practices of early Christianity. The Ethiopian Church is not a reflection of Rome, but an autonomous Christian tradition with its own history, theology, and legacy. This heritage also reveals a geopolitical truth. Aksum was a strong empire with its own currency, vast trade routes, and recognized authority. By adopting Christianity, its rulers acted as sovereign leaders, not as Roman subordinates. This autonomy allowed Ethiopian Christianity to develop a theology marked by the Ge'ez language, African symbols, local spiritual practices, and a rich liturgical tradition. Ethiopia also stood out for preserving sacred texts that were lost in other regions due to wars, fires, and religious censorship. Among them are the only complete manuscripts existing in the world of the Book of Enoch and the Book of Jubilees, fully preserved in Ge'ez. Elsewhere, these books survive only in Hebrew, Aramaic, or Greek fragments, including among the Dead Sea Scrolls. For centuries, Ethiopian monks copied, studied, and prayed these texts as a living part of their faith. These works were highly valued in Second Temple Judaism, but were excluded from the Western canon due to theological and institutional choices. In the West, councils and theologians sought a more restricted canon, focused on doctrinal uniformity and institutional control. The Ethiopian tradition, especially the Tewahedo, valued visionary writings, spiritual revelations, genealogies, and cosmic reflections, considering them essential for spiritual life. This difference profoundly shaped the two traditions. What is read influences the way one believes. Books like Enoch and Jubilees address angels, the structure of the universe, law, and morality from a broad spiritual perspective. By preserving them, Ethiopia kept alive theological discussions that were lost in other cultures. Furthermore, these texts followed their own linguistic path, outside the complex process of European translations, and were protected from catastrophes that destroyed many Western archives. Today, scholars rely heavily on Ethiopian manuscripts to understand ancient religious thought. The discovery of similar fragments among the Dead Sea Scrolls confirmed the authenticity of these versions, demonstrating that Ethiopia preserved genuine and ancient texts. Another singular element is the Ethiopian tradition that affirms the existence of a complete book containing the teachings of Jesus after the resurrection, preserved in the Ethiopian canon. This text, known as Mashafa Kidan, or Book of the Covenant, is considered a record of the teachings transmitted by Jesus to the disciples during the 40 days between the resurrection and the ascension. It emphasizes inner transformation, deep prayer, and direct experience with God more than rigid institutional norms. In the Ethiopian tradition, the 40 days symbolize proof, revelation, and spiritual preparation. The text has been used for centuries in liturgical and monastic contexts. It is not a recent discovery, but ancient writings and carefully preserved oral traditions. What is new, especially for the West, is the broader access and academic recognition, still incomplete. This difference reflects two historical paths of Christianity. The West, shaped by councils and empires, prioritized structure, doctrine, and institutional unity. Ethiopia, never colonized or subordinated to Rome, focused on mystical experience, contemplative life, visions, and closeness to the divine. Therefore, it maintained a broader canon, which includes Enoch, Jubilees, and the Books of the Covenant. It is not a matter of censorship or deliberate suppression, but of distinct priorities. While the West sought stability and doctrinal control, Ethiopia sought spiritual depth and direct encounter with God. The Council of Nicaea, in the year 325, did not define the biblical canon. These decisions occurred later, in regional councils like that of Carthage, in the year 397. Ethiopia followed its own path, preserving texts that the West did not centralize. This difference remains relevant today. In 2025, many people seek authentic spiritual experiences, more than rigid institutional structures. The Ethiopian tradition demonstrates that Christianity has always included a path of mystical depth, vision, and inner transformation. Its ancient texts, written in Ge'ez, carry layers of meaning difficult to translate fully. The debate about the number of books in the Ethiopian canon, whether 81 or 88, reflects this dynamic view of sacred wisdom, understood as something alive and constantly under interpretation. While many Western systems fixed immutable doctrines, the Ethiopian tradition maintained space for mystery and revelation. For centuries, monks protected these texts in royal monasteries, enduring invasions, political crises, and long periods of international invisibility. Today, the world is beginning to recognize the value of this legacy. Perhaps the greatest transformation is not the revelation of hidden texts, but the recognition that the experience of the divine has always assumed multiple forms. While the West emphasized rules and institutions, Ethiopia preserved a faith centered on mystery, inner experience, and the living wisdom that continues to speak to the human heart. Thank you for watching. While you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click on one of the recommended videos on the screen for more incredible information. See you there.